Hey everybody, Chris here. I just wanted to make a video about Pokemon. So this is going to be more of like a sort of serious video, so I understand if you're a bit confused why I sound like a regular person. I just wanted to sort of come on and talk about my feelings towards it at the minute, because Pokemon is in, I think, more hot water now than it ever has been before. And it is due to a couple factors, and I want to sort of go through them today. This isn't scripted, so I may sound like I stutter at points or struggle to find what to say, but I've sort of planned it out in my head roughly. To begin with, I just want to say, Legends EA, this is my sort of opinion on it. It was fun, but I've never stopped playing a Pokemon game faster. Every Pokemon game I've played, I've gotten must be at least sort of 20 hours post-game fun out of it. Like whether that be Battle Frontiers, Battle Trees, Raid Dens, Shiny Hunting, everything like that. Combined, I've probably gotten like 20 hours out of each different game. And Legends EA, I haven't even completed the decks. I frankly couldn't care less. There's no incentive. The Shiny Charm, yeah, the Shiny Charm, obviously you have to complete the decks to get it, because it's obviously all them tasks and stuff, but it's just not worth it. Like, you can get Shinies pretty easily, but I think the way they've made Shiny Hunting possible in this game is the least interesting way they could possibly have done it. You know, in Scarlet and Violet, you had outbreaks, you had picnics. That was fun. Nice little combo. Two things to keep you going. Sort of like mini puzzle game. It's not that puzzling anymore, but it used to be like a mini puzzle game. And then you had outbreaks, which were, you know, it kept you on your toes up to number 60, and then it was a lot of resetting. But it was still something. And, you know, Shiny Hunting and Sword and Shield. They fucked up. They ruined the actual Shiny Hunting method by fucking up the code. They didn't do it right. Or if they did, it was an awful idea. And then they realized that, and then they made Dynamax Adventures, which is probably my favorite way to shiny hunt, just because it's the most engaging. You're constantly doing shit. You know, Sun and Moon, wormholes, all that sort of shit. And then other games had their own sort of quirks. Legends EA is walk around. I can't fucking stand it, frankly. So I've gotten 3 shinies from Legends EA. All of them were accidents. I haven't actually shiny hunted anyone. And if I was going to shiny hunt anyone, it would be the starters, because they're the only ones that I would need to. And even if I wanted to shiny hunt starters, I could do that in Scarlet and Violet. We're now at a point where there are so many games with good shiny hunting methods that it's hard to find Pokemon that you can't get shiny in other games. So Legends EA, it was fun while it lasted, frankly, and I think it's sort of run its course. I don't know if I'll ever come back to it for a second playthrough. It's certainly not Legends Arceus level. Definitely not. I'd say while I was playing it, it was like it was super engaging. I did love playing it. So I'd say, like, in terms of like what it was while playing, sort of high B to low A tier. Obviously not S. But Legends Arceus, that was an S tier game. I mean, that game was fucking phenomenal. It was basically like Pokemon saying, we're a real company, and we earn, you know, fucking however many hundreds of millions of dollars we get, because we try. And then they made, you know, like fucking Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and now Legends EA, I think, is, in like the last 6 generations, Legends EA might be their least good game. It's not quite Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl bad, but out of all the good games, I think it's the worst. So I'm sort of bitter already about the fact that Legends EA is not what I was hoping for. But I've come to a boiling point with Pokemon, frankly, where I'm not particularly happy about their business practices. Now, I don't know who's responsible for it, whether it be Game Freak themselves, Nintendo, the Pokemon Company. I don't know who's in charge and who makes these decisions. But the point is, if you ever have the fucking audacity to make a game and then before that game is released, you go, by the way, here's DLC, it's going to run you 25 quid. You are the ballsiest company I've ever met. I wouldn't expect fucking EA to do that shit. I mean, they probably have, but I wouldn't expect it. That's how predatory I find it. And I don't understand why they did it. If you were always planning on releasing DLC, all you have to do is just hold off on announcing it. It's all well and good building hype, but if you build hype, do you know what you're doing? You're releasing it to the public, and they don't care. There's only two things you can say if you release DLC this early, if you announce it. If you haven't made the game and released it yet, then you also announce DLC. You're saying one of two things, and they're both a lose. You're either saying, we could have added this in, but we don't want to. We want to make a DLC, and we want to take your money. That is a bad look. So what's the alternative? The alternative is, we wanted to get this game out on time, so we didn't have enough time to add this to the main game as like a side thing. So we made it DLC. And then, do you know what you're saying on top of that? Even though it was planned to be part of the main game, you will still have to pay for it. £25 actually, which is a third of an actual game. And I can guarantee you, they're not going to give you a third of a game's content in there. The only way that DLC will be worth it is if there's a fucking crazy shiny hunting method in it. That is the only way. Because so far, they've released, Mega Dimensions. They've released some trailers of it. And Mega Excalibur's cool, I guess. I mean, I fucking hate that Mega Excalibur exists. I wouldn't have minded basically anyone else. But there's so many Pseudo Legends Megas already. And they still have yet to give Gudra one. I know Hisui and Gudra exists, but Gudra's fucking earned one, man. It's pure dragon type, so it's been shafted. And it could be so many other types. Dragon water, dragon poison. It could be anything, and they still refuse to give it one. But they give it to Excalibur, so, whatever. Mega Chimecho, that's good. I'm glad that has happened. That is a Pokemon that is deserving of it because it is shit. But Mega Zeraora, I saw the trailer for it. I seen the leaks for it, and I went, okay, Mega Zeraora, whatever. But the more I think about it, the more Mega Zeraora pisses me off to no end. One, you're giving it to a mythical. So, cool. Nobody even used Mega Diancie anyway, so I don't know why you're making Mega Zeraora. Two, why Zeraora? It's not a Gen 6 Pokemon. It has no bearing on the story whatsoever. Why would it be there? And three, it's a shit Mega. You fucked it up. How could you possibly? You took this electric yellow tiger sort of cat thing, and you know what you did? You made it look like your other electric tiger cat thing. You made it look like Luxray and Lucario. How? I'm so sick of black and blue becoming Pokemon's colours. Either they are already black and blue, and that's cool, or they never become it. There could have been so many other cooler options. I mean, if there's anything the Flash has taught us, is that red lightning is cool. Green fucking lightning. Anything but black and blue. I'm sick of it. They fucked it up. Mega Zeraora, I think, might be my least favourite Mega, below Ordino now. And if any of you know my opinions to Mega Ordino, you know that it's like my least favourite Pokemon of all time. I fucking hate Mega Zeraora. So far, the DLC has been announced before the main game was actually released. It costs a decent chunk for what I believe will be nothing. And they released 2 Mega Evolutions that, frankly, I couldn't give a shit about. I think Legend ZA is a fine game. I think it's a fine game. And if Mega Dimensions was post-game, that would be fine. Great. I'd love it. But it wasn't. And now they're making fucking Mega Raichu X and Y as well, which I think is dumb as fucking shit. They already knew how much we despised having multiple of the same Mega. It doesn't make sense. Why would they do it again? And I love Raichu. I'm so glad Raichu has something. But why? Why? Charizard X and Y didn't make sense because, they had already got Blastoise and Venusaur, but they just decided to make it fucking, Charizard gets 2. And Mewtwo gets 2 as well. Fuck it. And now Raichu gets 2. Gen 1, why do they keep getting shit? I think Gen 1 should be cut off from appearing in games from now on. They've had enough. Fuck them. I genuinely couldn't care less anymore. I like Gen 1 Pokemon. I don't care, though. I've had enough of them. And these are feelings I've not had for Pokemon before. I've never actually had anger towards Pokemon until literally recently. Watching this unfold in real time has bent me out of shape. I'm frankly quite pissed. I may probably still end up getting the DLC just to experience it, probably out of just curiosity. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm not in a fucking good mood about it. I don't want to purchase this DLC, and I likely won't. It all depends on what comes of it. And every time they release a trailer, I get more upset about it. Maybe I'm just old. I mean, to be fair, I was only born in 2004, so I can't be that old. But when I started Pokemon was when I was 11, which was 2015. So 2015, I started playing Pokemon for the first time. I got a Game Boy Advance for Christmas, and I got Pokemon Sapphire, which is obviously, at that point, it was a 10-year-old game. But I got Pokemon Sapphire, and I did nothing but play it. I was obsessed. It was my first console that came out before I was born, and I was obsessed with it. I couldn't stop. I love Pokemon Sapphire, and to this day, Gen 3 has been, and probably forever will be, my favourite, based on pure nostalgia and bias. And then, it's 2015, and then they just start announcing Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I go, this is the first game that's announced in my lifetime whilst I'm paying attention to it. I have to get it. So I bust out the DS. I get Pokemon Moon. And it's amazing. It's so good. And this continues on until Shield. And I love Shield as well. Shield is amazing. I fucking love Shield. The replayability for it, for me, is incredible. The only thing I hate is the fucking cutscenes. But I loved those first 3 games. And then I got, old DS copies of Heart Gold, Diamond, all that sort of stuff. And they were fun as well. They didn't quite hit as hard as Sapphire, Moon, and Shield, but they were pretty good. Scarlet and Violet came out. I had fun with it, but it was, it was the first time I'd gotten a Pokemon game for Christmas, and I'd not started playing it Christmas Day. I waited a couple of days. And I ended up playing it, and I did end up becoming very much in love with it, and I loved shiny hunting in it back in the day, 2022. But it was fun. It wasn't the greatest, but it was fun. And then, recently, Legends ZA came out, and I've never been more hyped for something that ended up being mid. Story was fun. Don't get me wrong, story was fun, gameplay was fun. The finale is one of the greatest finales I've ever played from Pokemon. Frankly, it was fucking awesome. The characters as well. They did a good job on characters and design. But it's just, there's no replayability. There's no post-game shit. I frankly couldn't care less. And I'm pissed off. I'm very annoyed about it. And like I said, it's a fine game. And if this was your first introduction to Pokemon, I can see someone really falling in love with it. And I can see people loving it in general, They get to see the return of some of their favourite old Pokemon, Furfrou fans unite. Chikorita fans, you finally got something. Hell yeah. But they fucked it up. I think they've made some mistakes in this game, frankly, that are unmistakably shit of them. Like some of the megas. Let's look at some of the megas. I think I'm going to give them an average right now. The average new mega, so only ones that were introduced, is 4 out of 10. 4. Frankly, it's 4. It makes sense to me because let's look at the starters. Emboar, they did a pretty good job with Emboar. I've read the backstory. I understand the symbolism and the Chinesiness of it. Great. Good job, Emboar. I'm glad you got something very cool. Mega Feraligatr and Mega Meganium, though. I like Feraligatr the most. I do like that it's Water Dragon. But, why is the mouth always open? What have they done? I've seen so many designs where the mouth is closed and then it only opens when it goes for a bite. That makes sense. And the Meganium. People's issue with Meganium was that it was too bland. Well, it was also that people had an unfettered hatred for it because Gen 2 was just not a good time to be a grass type, but Chikorita got shafted and ended up being the grass type, and so people have had an unreversible view of it currently that Chikorita is bad because it's pure grass type. But, that's besides the point. Chikorita is fine. Meganium is fine. But it was a bit bland, granted. So you know what they did? When they Mega Evolved it, they went, fuck it. Let's just give it frills on its ankles and give it a couple more flowers. That's not a good Mega design. It deserved way more, way better. A color change. Fuck. Make it pink. Make it white. I don't care. Just don't... Why add more flowers? It makes sense. Cool. It's like a sort of like a railgun. But make more. Do more. Give it fucking tiny wings. I don't care. Give it something. And they didn't. There's only one Mega. No, there's two Megas, actually. There's two Megas that I looked at that were new. And I went, oh shit. That is fucking baller. And there's two. And one is Mega Dragalge, just because, they made Dragalge, which is basically a stick from the front, very thin Pokemon, and they gave it width. They made it deep, and they gave it sort of like flowing wind. They made it seem a lot more powerful. Very good. So that was just sort of like, that was like an 8. Mega Drampa is a 10 out of 10 Mega Evolution, and I will not pretend otherwise. Mega Drampa is the greatest thing to come from this game. I didn't use it. But that's because I was too busy using old Megas that I liked more. Also, I didn't get to use, Sableye on a team for a long time now, so I wanted to. But Mega Drampa is the fucking greatest Mega Evolution to come out of these games, and even with the new Megas that have been announced, it's still the case. It is, I think, a top 10 Mega Evolution. Maybe not in battle or, typing. I don't care. In pure design, it is phenomenal. What they did was great. Most Mega Evolutions, they're like, what if it was bigger? What if it was flying now? Don't care. A good example of a Mega is to take a key characteristic and to change it in a dramatic way that makes the Pokemon seem as if it were a new thing. So, we'll take Sableye, for example. Sableye, love the guy. Shit. So what they did was they made it stronger a little bit, and they focused on, more defense and everything, and stalling and shit tactics, which I love. But the way they designed it was, well, what's Sableye's main thing? Oh, it's the fact that he's a goblin filled with gems, like everywhere. So what do? They make one of the gems huge. That change seems insignificant, but it's incredibly good. It's an amazing change. And it does make Sableye seem like its own thing now. Mega Sableye is its own creature. Mega Drampa, they went, what's Drampa's main thing? He's a dragon. And he's old. What if he was young again? And they smashed it. The darker color, sort of, I don't remember if it's a dark blue or a black, one of the two. But the point is, that's the only time where changing to black sort of makes sense, even if that were the case. Drampa is a white-haired Pokemon because he's old. So it now reverts back to its youth, where it gets its hair color back, it looks more fierce, it attacks more fiercely. It's fucking great. Everything else, though, they fucked up. They fucked it up. Mega Hawlucha's alright. I like Mega Hawlucha, but that's because I used one. Everything else they fucked up. So currently, my opinion is Pokemon, the company, Game Freak, Nintendo, whoever's in charge of making these decisions, is performing some extremely predatory practices. And I frankly am not a huge fan of it. And right now is the least interested I've been in Pokemon for some time. Just simply because there's nothing to get from it anymore, I think Pokemon Shield was probably the last time I think they put effort into making sure it was polished. And no, I'm not saying they don't put effort into these games. They certainly do. And there are people whose heart and soul is poured into these games. Genuine, amazingly talented people. But they're being held back by time or restrictions that I don't see or that we don't see. But the point is, these people are talented designers, game coders, programmers, 3D modelers. These people are talented and could be used to make incredible shit. But because Pokemon has now self-imposed this rule of, well, every 3 years we gotta make a main game and we gotta make other shit in between, you don't. I would happily wait fucking 6 years if this billion-dollar company could output a phenomenal game, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't give a flying rat's ass if I had to wait 6 years. If they were like, we're going to make Pokemon fucking apples and oranges. We're going to make Pokemon apples and oranges, but we're not releasing it until fucking 2032. I would go, that's amazing. All you have to do is get it right. Make the gameplay good. Make the graphics decent. It doesn't even have to be good graphics, you know? A 2D game, you know? Fucking Shovel Knight, in terms of what graphics can be made, is bad, but Shovel Knight's got great graphics. We fucking love it. So all you have to do is make it look good. Make it look good. Make it play good. Make it play, like, long. Make the story good. Make the characters good. And make voice acting, you fucking idiots. I just need them to do it. I don't care anymore. Stop fucking up your resources. You have so many. The credits for Legend ZA goes on for so long. And yet, it feels like only half of them showed up. Stop holding people back. Let them do their thing. These people are incredible. The people at the Pokemon Company in Japan are fucking insane psychopaths, and they're amazing at their job, and we know they're amazing because they've done amazing things. Let them do it. Give them the resources. You are the biggest media franchise of all time. You cannot be releasing shit like this. Frankly, it's sad, it's disappointing, and it looks bad as a company. This is my current feelings, and if you like Pokemon still, if this hasn't changed your opinion, that's fine. They make games that people like, but I think we deserve better, frankly. So, while what I've said is nothing new, it is my 2 cents on the occasion. It is me saying, listen, unless we see a major turnaround, I don't see Pokemon being a thing that I can be very invested in. I will always like Pokemon, and I will always come back to it every so often. But I'll come back to it in the way I come back to Minecraft, you know? I don't play it constantly. I play it every 3 months, and I go, wow, this is great, and then I give up instantly. That's how Pokemon feels at the minute. I literally have not touched my Switch 2 in about 3 weeks. Maybe even a month. I can see it right now, and I can see that there is dust on top of it. That console, I've had that console since October. I've had it basically, I got it like 3 days before the game came out. I beat the game. I've not touched it since. In a month, that console is now useless to me. I mean, I still play Violet on it occasionally, but last time I played Violet on it was definitely 2 weeks ago or longer. So, Pokemon, fuck you. Figure it out. But yeah, no. I mean, feel free to comment whatever you feel about it as well, because I don't know what to say anymore, you know. And when this DLC comes out, I'll probably watch someone play it in its entirety before I dedicate myself to buying it, because I'm sick of spending my money on shit that I only get a week's use out of. You know, I bought Minecraft when I got my PS4 in 2014. I still play that shit now. In fact, that's what I'm going to do after this, just to make myself feel better. But yeah, no. Fucking figure it out, Pokemon, you piece of shit. And yeah, if you guys sort of feel the same way I do, feel free to comment. And if you don't, comment anyway. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you want from them in the future. Tell me basically everything you can think of. So we'll have a discussion. But yeah, no. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I was going to do a live-action version, like sort of camera face-to-face. But I couldn't be asked, so yeah, sorry. But yeah, no. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see you in I've got a video uploaded for tomorrow, so Saturday. I'll see you Saturday or something. I don't know. Fucking bye.